Can you believe that I have bagged 1,000 plus subscribers for this channel? I'm pretty pleased of that, seeing as the first video was this. I don't know either. Nevertheless, I couldn't have done it without all of you sound patrons hitting that button and watching and stuff. So I will do my level best to cut down on all the introspect, blah blah, I'm a chimp. I'm making this video to tell you all one thing about myself. My favourite classic Doctor Who serial. Chosen Chimp here. Hard to whittle down all that great classic Doctor Who to one story, so I went into the old reliable childhood favourite mode, of which I have lots to be fair, so consider this the ultimate all-rounder. It's got a cool concept and lots of funny stuff, and the overall lunacy of this particular serial is the perfect fit for my channel, so if it looks like I'm implicitly having a jab at the probably serious efforts of this adventure, it's only because I love it. It's a riot. I'm not trying to bully it, it's my favourite Doctor Who. It is. It just happens that there are certain elements that you really cannot not laugh at. You know where I'm coming from, where the level of time-stamped lunacy, though possibly intended as serious in its origins, has such a high comedic value that I just wouldn't be a good YouTuber if I didn't milk that for all it was worth. Though it's got lashings of apocalyptic undertone, it's bloody hilarious for the most part. For its arcane themes, there is a comforting amount of homeliness. It's got the theatrics, the peril, the linear descent into explosive action. It's got all the wonder, fun, excitement and downright nonsense that a Doctor Who fan needs. It is my chosen chimp Doctor Who champion serial, missing only Ibrahim, though I suspect he was pulling the strings all along. So are you ready then, folks? Shall I lift the curtains and tell you my most beloved Pertwee chopping, master scoffing, unit doing a whole load of stuff 1971 masterpiece? Then let's do this. Are you interested in joining the BBC Current Affairs team? Would you like to meet ordinary people with extraordinary lives? Visit everyday locations with bewildering backstories? Do you want to help propel the most innovative platform to hit 1970s British television, BBC Free? What? Then a career in the passing parade might be the job role for you. Don't believe us? Then ask journalist and presenter Alistair Fergus, just as soon as he returns from his visit to the Devil's Hump. No, I'm sorry, I don't know where Devil's End is either. I think it's about 8 miles away from Satan Hall. Oh right, it's in Wiltshire. Maybe somebody should tell the Doctor and Joe that, because even they can't find their flipping way. Better be quick though, guys. You've got Daemons to deal with. Demons. Demons is a knees-up action fest that I watched more times than I ate bananas when I was a child, though it's only now that I see the general outlandishness of its themes. There are lots of ideas of misused power, communal brainwashing, and the matrimony of conflicting viewpoints brought together to do the greater good. It's there whether it intends to be or not, and have fun finding it. The Demons was a one-off concept in Doctor Who, but as you know, one-off never really means one-off. As well as numerous references and spin-off books, there are also a couple of real-time TV movies which saw the return of many cast members and original themes. All fun and games, I'm sure, but you really need this cantankerous dandy as the glue which holds this entire adventure together. Anyway, welcome to Devil's End. I have no idea where it got its name from. It's not quite so sinister in the daytime. A quiet rural community all into their pubs and local traditions, and being goaded into practicing the dark arts by an evil time traveller dressed as a vicar. It wasn't until he took his glasses off that I realised it was the Master, and it was of absolutely no surprise that he showed up, as he has run interference in every serial during Season 8. Terror of the Autons? Check. Mind of Evil? Check. Claws of Axos? Check. Colony in Space? Check. Now comes his most ambitious project to date, infiltrating the vicar hierarchy of vicars to weaponize the superstitious beliefs of an entire village and use the resulting psychic energy to resurrect a malevolent being. All he has to do is point in a direction and it's fly, my pretties. Look at him go. The only person who smells a rat is resident White Witch Miss Hawthorne, who is so entrenched in her spiritual beliefs and rune casting that to her the arrival of this weirdy beardy can't be a coincidence. It's bad enough that Professor Horner, a chin, is doing the worst thing possible in a village believed to have a high concentration of curses. Oh boy. I'll tell you who else ain't happy. This man, the Doctor. Doctor Who. He's busy inventing the remote control car, whilst everyone else is waffling about the passing parade live from Devil's End special. All excited to see what happens when Professor Horner cuts into the Devil's Hump. He's such a chin. He doesn't even laugh at Alistair's plum in a pie joke. And he's only doing this to get treasure. And at witching hour... publicity gimmick. Have you never watched Doctor Who? Right, better get down there, Doc, and it's a good job that he did. We're talking end of the world stuff here. Alistair Plum, or whatever his name is, visits the notorious cavern underneath the church, where black magic was once practiced. And now the BBC are having a proper gander, posing next to this fetching gargoyle and clueless to the windy horrors that are about to transpire. Man, Time Teams let themselves go. Get out of there, BBC! Stop that dig! Even this Ghostbuster can't help. And now their tea's blowing away. Do something, Doctor! Oh no. Oh no. Fearing that the worst has come to pass, Jo takes a private moment to mourn for her friend the Doctor, while the BBC film it and broadcast it across the country. When the deflection barrier activates and the big demon appears, the BBC go home and don't cover it. A little more than temporary, I'd say. Nobody misses Horner, that's it for him. Done. Until his next Chincarnation. I've really made that a thing, haven't I? As for the Doctor... Right, just stop. Look, I'm trying to give this the serious coverage that it deserves and not just go, haha, look at all these funny things I noticed, aren't I clever, haha. But come on. The Doctor is lying there, frozen, with his hand in the air like a bad Madame Tussauds. I really wouldn't shake him, Jo. Look at him on the pub table. What were they going to do? Hang him on the wall? Seriously, Jo, he's touch and go. He's frozen solid. Is this all we're going to get from the Doctor for the rest of the serial? Come on, we're several minutes into this video and we're only on episode 2. I better speed things up. Okay, how about this? Giant beast with the big footsteps, an Easter egg pub sign. Really nice touch, that, actually. They got the cock and the church and everything. This terrified policeman, a big barrier round the village, a silly Benton on a square full of energy. On your feet, soldier, you plank. A Bock on the loose. Look at him go. You've gone too far, master. A vaporised vicar. Pow. Poor tree. A tragic accident, possibly unrelated to anything else that happened. A detonated van. A defrosted doctor. Eureka! I bet the bed is soaked. Alright folks, now this is what lockdown looks like. The village is trapped in a great barrier. Don't poke it, Gordy. The rest of the world is trapped outside of it. Even army jets can't drop bombs on the village. Good try. Hawthorne is all devils and magic and the Doctor is all science and logic. But they do make a pretty solid team. This is a really fun gang to have during the resurrection of ultimate evil. The Doctor uses a Venusian lullaby to subdue Bock. Look at him, he's tiny. Along the way he discovers the truth, that under the church lies the ruins of a spaceship. The Daemons arrived from the planet Deimos nearly 100,000 years ago and from 60,000 light years away, and they have inspired the progression of humanity since the origin of Homo sapiens. The whole thing has been a scientific experiment, basically all of Earth's history, an experiment. Along the way, everything perceived by humanity to be the occult or something with horns is just this. There's no devils and magic, it's all viable alien stuff. It really helps fill in the gaps of our understanding of reality. You'd think this would be the first thing that the Doctor tells his human companions when they hop on board for an adventure, but he never mentions that before. Seems like really important stuff to me. The Master has exploited all the resulting energy to pull off all manner of conjuring tricks, and to call out the dirty little secrets of the locals, including Mr. Thorpe's grocery bill padding, Charlie's post office money laundering, and Mr. Granville's adulterous rumpy pumpy. Bunch of middle-aged reprobates. Well, that's it. Wrapped around the Master's pinky. He can say what he wants to. Otherwise, you get bocked. Meanwhile, the Doctor is utilising this plucky young soldier to build a machine to make a hole in the barrier, which is like trying to teach quantum science to a donkey. He doesn't even know about reversing the polarity. Come on. The Doctor sketches the blueprint on the windshield of Yates's bike and then immediately drives off with it. So good luck with that unit. Oh, speaking of that, don't get me started. The Chosen Chimp is proud to introduce another edition of Unit Doing Stuff. Today, looking after colleagues and equipment. Right, Sergeant Benton and Captain Yates, one job, just one. Keep your eye on the dig. Brigadier's out on the lash, okay, so it's just you guys. Look, I'll make it easy for you. Just watch it on TV. There's your corned beef sandwiches. Go on. No. See, what you've done there is you've switched it over to the rugby. Go back to the dig. Quick, yeah, I know you're missing it. Yeah, those are your mates. There's Joe crying on the telly. No, there's no playback, guys. It's the 70s. Benton tries to reach the BBC whilst Yates is trying to reach Unit, and the guy in the back is secretly having a blast because he knows that Yates and Benton have not yet realised that they're just talking on the phone to each other. Sergeant Benton and Captain Yates, who by the way stopped along the way to have a skiing holiday with Roger Moore, recce with Joe and the Ice Doctor, but are hopelessly out of their depth in this situation. Let's face it, guys, they need their leader, their Leonidas, their Captain America, their supreme... What have you been up to, you rascal? Nice gym jams. This hypnotised lumberjack shirt man steals the helicopter. Captain Yates tries, fails, then remembers he had a gun all along. Never mind. After that chopper. During the battle of vehicular wits between Goonit and Bessie, Captain Yates pulls alongside the Doctor and shouts, "He's handling it like an expert!" He's not even wearing a helmet. That's not expertly handled. Better let the Doctor deal with this. Mind out, Doctor! Joe's falling out. Ugh. This is an embarrassment. Can't even blame Unit on that one. Anyway, back to the Master. One of the biggest selling points in the Demons is the utterly ludicrous chants, spoken by the Master and his, and I quote, worthy disciples. Yeah, they look really into it. The general rule is that the Master enthusiastically makes up a chant and the disciples repeat it, all bored and West Country sounding. We all know you're just mumbling waffle, mate. What's the science behind that robe anyway? You just want to do a Christopher Lee thing for an episode, don't you? He also dumps a giant log in his pants as soon as the evil presence actually manifests. He's quite the bumbling twit in this serial, no wonder he gets arrested at the end. And would you just take a look at those legs? Whoa, it's getting hot in here. Azal is quite the specimen, and he loves shouting everything. He's basically like a taller version of Brian Blessed. The Master is nagging Azal for his powers so he can rule over humanity, and he just so happens to be seeking this privilege from one of the most irritable and indecisive creatures in the ancient cosmos. And he's rude. I don't know what this effect is about either. I think he just farts. The most powerful kind. Yates meets up with Joe in the deadly church. Don't call her an idiot, Yates. She didn't lose the chopper. Wow, an exploding book. Cool. What's going on here now? Oh. So here we go, folks. The moment we've all been waiting for. The May Day Parade. Far be it for me to poke fun at the traditions of local folk and their love of Morris dancing. I'm sure the whacking of the arses is fully above board, especially when it's done to one person repeatedly in excess, and I'm also sure that restraining that same person against his will while the man dressed in shredded newspaper pulls a gun on them is also a fun part of the festivities. Sergeant Benton says, "That doesn't look very traditional." It's fine, Benton, you need to open your mind a bit, mate. Whoa, oh, I didn't know about it. Okay, time for another Chosen Chimp edition of Unit... Oh, never mind. The day Benton was saved by a witch. I did say this serial had everything. Look, I know we got the Master in one corner and Azal in the other, and Bok doing all the actual proper work for the entire serial, but I think the biggest obstacle the Doctor faces here are people, the general public. The populace of Devil's End take it to a whole nother level. Just one entry-level blast of psychic energy and this policeman decides to brain the local witch with a rock. The pub banter, oh, don't get me started on that guy, is what you'd expect. Haha, the witch is mad, report to your local stranger who can hypnotise you, and get changed because the ceremony starts in 5 minutes. Are you actually kidding me? I'm really glad this barrier came up, it's the best thing for them. And now at the end of the serial, they were actually planning on setting fire to a man in the middle of the street while all the onlookers stood and stared. They're not even standing back or anything. Be careful with that flipping torch, you got a guy next to you covered in newspaper. Miss Hawthorne stops these people from lighting the Doctor up the only way that she knows how, by convincing them that he's a wizard. A little help from Benton there behind the scenes, shooting lamps and cocks. Good shot, Benton. Yeah, slug that little twit while you're there. Oh, sorry, Sarge. You were outstaged by a remote control car. Or was he? Look at that, full-on luchador moves in the house. Good job, Benton. I love you really, mate. Look at him go. Wonderful. Just like that, Ron and his friends now like the Doctor who they were going to set fire to a minute ago. The Doctor explains that the demon has been conjured by violent emotions. Ron actually pleads with the Doctor not to go into the church on the grounds that it would be suicide. It's really is a change of tune, isn't it? As I've said in so many words in previous videos, if you watch Doctor Who and you don't think that Jo Grant is the best, then stop watching Doctor Who. I mean, she does take her fair share of crap off the Doctor, and maybe she doesn't want to take off that ridiculous gown, but you just gotta love her unending spirit. She's seen many people die during her time, but she draws the line at the senseless murder of a chicken. Now she is the sacrificial chicken. Doesn't get much braver than that. Azael the fallen angel, gets resurrected one final time, the hairy, shirtless, furry, trousered beast that he is. The Doctor gives him a right old verbal blasting, saying that because of him, man can now blow up the world and probably will. Azael is just about the most neurotic load of demon baggage that I've ever seen on TV. He has a big old moan when unit charge through the barrier. I never knew the same object could blow up that many times. And he just can't decide who to give his powers to. How about no one if you're not sure? Then he decides to give it to the Doctor, then he changes his mind to the Master, and when he's not changing his mind, he's flipping bawling about everything else. Jo offers up her life to save the Doctor, and Azael is so vexed by the morality of that he blows himself up. What do you mean there's no data? What are you meant to be, mate? The chosen chimp is proud to squeeze in one final last-minute edition of Unit Doing Stuff. Today, again, taking on one monster. Jenkins, chap with the wings there, 5 rounds rapid. Yep, we all know that one. Doesn't do anything though. Even a bazooka can't get the job done. I don't know why you're smiling, Benton, it's not going to work. Despite it being obvious that bullets or anything else won't... Despite it being obvious that bullets or anything else won't stop Bok, Unit just carry on firing for ages and ages. But, looking on the positive side, and to give them credit, they actually do succeed in... nothing. Absolutely nothing. The story ends with a running away from the exploding church party, hooray! The Doctor thanks Jo by calling her foolhardy, and as for the Master... oh, the Master. I think we all know the lesson here. If you're going to goad a village of people into resurrecting an ancient evil god whilst on the run from the military, don't try and escape from the failed results of that plan in an Edwardian roadster. And if you do, get out of it and run before it circles slowly back to the people you're trying to escape from. The entire population of Devil's End boo the Master out of their village. Feckless idiots. The Doctor says, I think you're right, Jo. There is magic in the world after all. And just like that, the Doctor believes in magic. It took one small May Day parade to change his mind. Really flaunts his resolve of steel, this serial, doesn't it? Nice one, Doc. Good to see the party atmosphere in full swing, though. Yeah, wish I was there. What other Doctor Who stuff would you like me to talk about? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Have a good one.